where today's story begins. 3 centuries have passed since the end of a devastating global war that left the planet in ruins. High above the wreckage floats Zalem, a glittering city housing the privileged remnants of humanity, while everyone else scrapes by on the surface below, working in the factories and fields that keep Zalem running. Zalem's residents toss their waste straight down to earth, and it's in that very rubbish that a scientist, Dr. Ido, discovers something extraordinary: the remains of a cyborg unlike anything he's ever seen, equal parts human and machine. He brings her home and rebuilds her completely from scratch, fitting her with an entirely new body. When she wakes the next day, thrilled simply to be alive, her first questions cut straight to the point. Who am I? Where did I come from? Ido has no real answers. All he can tell her is that her core was intact when he found her, even though her original body wasn't salvageable, so he built her a new one from the ground up. He shows her the city, and her eyes are immediately drawn upward to Zalem itself. He explains it's the last great city to survive the war, home to the privileged elite, while everyone on the surface, including the 2 of them, works to keep it running. He gives her a name, Alita. Delighted, she begins exploring her new world, and soon meets a local boy named Hugo, who's instantly impressed by the strength and craftsmanship of her cyborg body. The 2 quickly become close. That same night, a girl is murdered elsewhere in the city, the latest victim of a serial predator who's been killing women and selling their body parts on the black market. Alita happens to spot Ido returning home that night with blood on his hands, and immediately suspects the worst, that her own creator might be the killer terrorizing the city. The next day, Ido's ex-wife pays him a visit, and a painful truth surfaces. The human body fitted onto Alita originally belonged to their own daughter, who had died, and whose body Ido chose to repurpose rather than let go to waste. Hugo, meanwhile, invites Alita to try out motorball, a brutal, high-speed sport beloved across the city. She turns out to be a natural, dazzling the crowd and winning easily. Afterwards, he takes her to his favorite spot, a rooftop with a clear view of the entire city, including a massive pipeline stretching all the way up toward Zalem. Everything that ever reaches Earth from the floating city, he explains, comes down through that very pipe, and it's his life's ambition to one day make it up there himself. Curious, Alita asks what Zalem is actually like. Hugo points out something she hadn't considered. Since Ido found her in Zalem's discarded rubbish, that almost certainly means she originally came from up there herself. The trouble is, she has no memory of it whatsoever. Her past is a complete blank. The following day, Alita secretly follows Ido and finally uncovers the truth behind his bloodied hands. He isn't the killer at all. He's a hunter-warrior, one of a network of bounty hunters who track down and eliminate dangerous criminals, delivering their remains to a central factory in exchange for hefty rewards. While trailing him, Alita comes face to face with the very serial killer terrorizing the city and fights him off fearlessly, eventually defeating him outright. She and Ido bring the body to the factory together and collect the bounty. Back home, Ido finally opens up about his own past, how he, his wife, and their daughter once lived together as a family until a robot they'd built themselves turned violent and abducted their daughter inside their own house. Devastated and enraged, Ido destroyed the robot with his own hands and became a hunter-warrior shortly afterward, channeling his grief into hunting down threats just like it. Elsewhere, we're introduced to Vector, the man who runs the motorball racing circuit. Ido's ex-wife is shown working closely alongside him, and it's revealed she's been secretly conspiring with Vector, who's promised to get her into Zalem in exchange for her loyalty and medical expertise. Meanwhile, the cyborg assassin Alita defeated earlier limps back to Vector, blaming her for the damage to its body. Vector mocks it mercilessly for being beaten by what looks like a small girl, until the cyborg insists she's far stronger than she appears. Intrigued, Vector assigns it a new mission: capture Alita and bring her in by force if necessary. Hugo takes Alita to watch a full motorball race, explaining that the eventual winner earns the right to ascend to Zalem itself, news that excites her instantly. Later, he shows her something else entirely: the wreck of an enemy warship from the war 3 centuries earlier. Fascinated, Alita dives straight into the water to explore it and discovers a dormant, high-tech battle body hidden inside. She brings it back to Ido and asks him to transplant her core into this new, far more powerful frame, but he refuses outright, warning her that a body built for war, fitted with concealed weapons, would make her dangerously lethal, capable of devastating destruction if pushed too far. Frustrated by his refusal, Alita storms off and heads to the hunter-warrior factory, formally declaring herself one of them. She and Hugo head to a club frequented by the city's hunters, where she rallies the room against Vector's rogue cyborg assassin, blaming it for the string of killings plaguing the city. One hunter mocks her openly, questioning how someone so small could possibly be a real threat, until she knocks him flat in front of everyone, stunning the entire room into silence. That's when Vector's cyborg reappears, now significantly larger and more powerful, having having been secretly upgraded by Ido's own ex-wife. It attacks Alita directly and after a fierce exchange, retreats into an underground tunnel to escape. Alita pursues it relentlessly and the fight that follows is brutal. The cyborg manages to tear her body apart piece by piece before Ido and Hugo arrive in time to finish it off and burn the wreckage, forcing the creature to flee for its life regardless. Ido carries Alita's shattered remains home, with no real choice left but to fit her with the powerful battle body she'd recovered from the sunken warship earlier. When she wakes the next morning in her new frame, she feels stronger and more complete than ever. This body comes equipped with built-in weaponry, even the ability to project fire. She's thrilled. She rushes to show Hugo her upgraded form, and he's just as impressed. In a quiet moment, he confides his real plan. Reaching Zalem requires accumulating enough merit points, which can be earned either through bounty kills or by winning Motorball outright. Without hesitation, Alita offers him something extraordinary, her own cyborg heart, an immensely powerful energy core capable of powering the entire city for months on its own, telling him to sell it to fund his way to Zalem. Hugo refuses to take something so vital from her, insisting she keep it, and instead urges her to compete in the next Motorball race herself, convinced she can win it outright and take them both to Zalem together. Moved by her growing feelings for him, Alita agrees. Vector, meanwhile, quietly puts a bounty on Alita's head, offering any hunter 5 million points, more than enough for passage to Zalem, to kill her during the race. The hunter she humiliated at the club earlier sees his chance for revenge, and rather than confront Alita directly, he frames Hugo for a murder he didn't commit, branding him a wanted criminal overnight. As the race begins, Alita finds herself the target of every killer entered in the competition, cutting them down one by one as they come for her. Mid-race, Hugo calls her in a panic. The hunter who framed him is now hunting him down directly, intent on finishing the job. Alita abandons the race immediately to save him, brutally taking down the hunter once she arrives. But by then, word has already spread across the city that Hugo is a wanted criminal with a bounty on his head. Police arrive, demanding Alita finish him off herself, but she refuses. Before she can stop it, the original hunter strikes Hugo down with a sword, leaving him dying in her arms. Just as it looks hopeless, Ido's ex-wife arrives with an unexpected solution. She instructs Alita to remove Hugo's head entirely so they can fit it with a new cyborg body, just as Ido once did for Alita, having genuinely changed her priorities and now wanting to save him properly. Alita carries out the grim procedure herself and brings Hugo's severed head to Ido, who completes the operation and successfully revives him in a new mechanical body. Hugo and Alita are both thrilled. He now shares the same kind of body she has. Ido finally reveals the full truth about Vector's scheme to Alita. There is no legitimate path to Zalem through money or favors of any kind. Only those born there or the outright winner of the Motorball Championship can ever set foot in the city. Everything else Vector promises is a calculated lie designed to exploit desperate people. Ido also admits that he and his ex-wife were both originally born in Zalem themselves, only coming down to the surface seeking treatment for their dying daughter before becoming permanently stranded below once she passed. Enraged by the full scope of Vector's deception, Alita marches straight to the factory to kill him herself, cutting through wave after wave of his security forces and machines with her new battle body. Just as she closes in, Vector's cyborg assassin intercepts her one final time, wounding her badly in the fight. And in that moment of pain, something unexpected happens. Her lost memories come flooding back. She remembers everything. She was once a soldier who fought in the Great War 3 centuries earlier, watching every one of her comrades die in that conflict before she herself was left for dead, discarded as garbage. She understands now, with total clarity, exactly who's responsible: the ruler of Zalem himself, the man behind the deaths of everyone she once fought alongside. Her true mission crystallizes instantly: kill him, whatever it takes. Grief and fury combine into something unstoppable. She destroys Vector's cyborg outright, then turns her blade on Vector himself, killing him on the spot. A call from Ido brings devastating news. Hugo, desperate and out of options, has started climbing the massive pipeline directly toward Zalem. Alita races after him, urging him to turn back. There's nothing worth dying for up there, and they can build a life together right here on Earth instead. Hugo, finally convinced, agrees to come down, but it's too late. The ruler of Zalem has been watching from above and strikes them both with a weapon from the sky, tearing Hugo's body apart instantly. Alita manages to grab his hand in the chaos, desperately trying to hold on, but loses her grip and he falls to his death far below. Shattered by the loss, Alita weeps openly, and from that grief comes a singular, burning resolve. She will go to Zalem herself and kill its ruler, no matter the cost, as vengeance for Hugo. She finishes what's left of the Motorball race and wins outright, then raises her sword toward the distant city above, issuing a direct challenge to the man hiding within it. I'm coming for you, and I won't let let you live after what you've done. And that's where the story ends. Let us know what you thought in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more breakdowns like this.